everyone, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads. Join me in creating this beautiful quad angle bracelet featuring our QuadBow Beads strung in a very simple counting manner. Remember, if you need any materials, go ahead and check below the video in the video description to get links to shop with us online at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Gather up your bead on it board and your materials and let's get started. So for this project, we're going very, very simple. We're going to be doing 4 strands strung with some differing colors, getting higher and lower with the numbers going through as we get the quad bows kind of facing towards one another. Whatever way you pick up the quad bow, that's the same way that you're going to continue. I have 5 feet of beading thread on 0.006 white wildfire thread and a size 10 needle. I'm taking my thread and needle through my quad bow here, and then I'm going to add a series of opposites. I have my gold seed beads here and my jet black seed beads. These are both Miyuki 11-0, and then my quad bow is the champagne color. These are going to match really well with my ClaspGarten clasp. To begin, I want to start with 2 gold beads and then pick up my next quad bow going in the same direction. After the 2 gold beads, I'm going to pick up 5 of my jet colored beads. Once I pick up those 5, I pick up another quad bow bead. And then I repeat over and over. 2 gold, next quad bow. 5 jet, next quad bow. I'm going to continue this the whole length of my bracelet, and then I'll show you how we're going to add some extra beads after our last quad bow in order to attach to our clasp, and then turn around to get ready to complete the second row. Once you're done your initial row here, I want you to make sure one thing while you're doing this, that all of the quad bow holes are open. Anytime you're working with a multi-holed bead, especially this where we're going back and forth and back and forth, you don't want to get to row 4 and realize that one of your holes is blocked. Now, many times if they are, you can go in with your needle and just ream out that coating, but keep that in mind as you are doing the piece. Additionally, whatever you start with, you want to end with the opposite. This is going to make the bracelet sit the nicest on the clasp and sit to center rather than off to one side. I started with 2 gold, so I ended with 5 black. Once you get to the end here, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and 4 gold beads, followed by 1 black bead, and go through my clasp. Let that drop down to the project. And you can use a wire guard or a wire protector if you want as well. I'm going to turn my thread back through that black bead. Give a nice tight pull. Add 4 more gold beads and go through hole number 2. That's going to pull this all down and get me lined up to go through row 2. If I don't twist it all up to begin with. All right, once you're in there and you're going through round 2, all you have to do is start counting again. So this time as I do row 2, I'm going to put underneath the 5 black beads, 4 beads, and go through the second hole of the next quad bow. Once you have that second hole done there, you're coming out next to the 2, you're going to put in 3 gold beads. So we're just adding or subtracting depending on if I'm building up or coming down. Then again, 4 black beads, followed by then the next hole, which will be 3 gold. So I'm going to go the whole way down here, adding these in, and then I'm going to show you how we are going to add the clasp to the other side as well. Once you have your second row in here, it's time to go to the third row. I'm going to take the tongue out of my pretty netted pearl clasp here and attach to just the tongue on this side so that way I don't have the weight of the ball and keeping it together. No reason for that. All right, coming out of the last quad bow bead, I'm going to mimic the other side. So I'm going to add 4 of my jet beads, and then I'm going to add 1 of my gold beads. Go ahead up through the tongue, and then down through the gold bead on the other side. Once you're down through that gold bead there, we are going to attach to row number 1. So we're going in and adding 4 of our jet. So down through hole number 1, and that brings the clasp right there. I'm going to take my thread and needle, reinforce there, going through the thread, back through the second hole here of the quad bow, through the clasp then, and back down through that same row of seed beads. I'm going to go through the gold, and again back down through those 4 jet. Once you're down through those 4 beads, go through the quad bow, and now back up through row number 3. So I'm going row number 3 towards the clasp, and as I come out there towards the clasp, I want you to go ahead and add 1, 2, 3, 4 seed beads, followed by 1 gold bead. Go through that same tongue of the clasp, go back down through those, and then get ready to start your 3rd row. And to start our 3rd row, it's just a repeat of the other 2, except this time it's easy. Oop, I forgot to go through the clasp. This time it's really, really easy. When I go through, this is a good lesson here of making sure you go through the clasp before you sew back through the beads. If not, that's what happens. I'm going to go up through the clasp then again. And rather than sewing back through the clasp, making sure that I'm not sewing back through the clasp to grab on. From here then, this is our easiest row. It's our row that we're going to do 4 and then 3. So we're repeating the same as the other one, but just reversing it. So 4 gold go on, and that sits right on top of the 3 golds. And then after that, my next row is working with 3 black. So I'm just going to keep going then with that same pattern of going ascending or descending order. So as you get to the 4th and final row on this super simple, easy, and sweet bracelet, you're going up through the last quad bow, adding in your 4 gold bead, your 1 black bead, going through your clasp, making sure you actually go through it this time and not back just over it, and give a nice little tight pull. From here, add 4 more of your gold beads. Go back down through that first one of your quad bows, and then start with your rotation. Onto 2 jet, and now this time we're up to the final count, which is going to be our 5 gold. Once you have those on, we're proceeding the whole way down through the project till we get to do our 2nd row of our seed beads to connect to our N. You can see how it's going with that nice triangle shape, and it's really simple and just a beautiful little bracelet. Coming out the end of the last row there of my quad bow, I'm going up to through my 8/0 seed bead or my 11/0 seed bead in the gold, through the clasp, and then I'm going to cross over in the clasp there to that first gold bead and down that first line of black seed beads. In doing so, that gets my starter thread and my ending thread right next to one another. Because the quad bow is light, I'm going to tie the knot right here. If you want to, you can tie it and bring the knot further down in the piece. You can also, if you want to, help out the community and put in the comments section your feedback as far as where you tie the knots or what colors you did. This one has a beautiful, rich color tone in that nice champagne color, as well as the black and gold. You can see how it looks on the wrist. It's just a really simple and nice, sweet bracelet. If you want to, as Anna was playing around and we were playing around with the design, you can also do one bead and start with one and go up from 1, 2, 3 to 4, or you can do the different versions in between. So keep in mind that you can extend or you can condense rather than doing all the same counts if you would like to. From here, I tie my thread ends together, burn off the thread with the thread zap, and then put on my clasp to complete my bracelet. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me in making this quad angle bracelet. This is a great springboard to make your own. You can use any type of multi-hole check glass to do so. So if you want to use bars or beams and do 2 holes versus 1 hole, you can do a wrap bracelet. You can really have fun with this project and with this design. Remember, if you do make any changes, please comment below and let us know what those are to really help out those watching the video and give more ideas. That is the whole point in doing these, is to springboard that creativity. Remember, if you do need any materials, you can check out the links below to shop with us online at PotomacBeads. Remember also, if you do make your own quad angle, shoot a picture and put it in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy that nice, simple version of a strung bracelet featuring the QuadBow beads in this quad angle bracelet.